What's happening, guys? All right, just a few days out from Christmas. Merry Christmas to everybody. I hope everybody has a safe, very blessed Christmas season. I hope you guys get to all spend it with your family and remember the reason for the season, celebrating the birth of our Lord and Savior. This video is going to be geared a lot more towards the beginner trapper than it is towards the seasoned vet. So, you guys that know what you're doing, as you watch this video, just kind of keep an open mind. It's going to be a little bit to get through, but we do have some exciting catches on here, some real pretty coyotes, and there's going to be a lot of information on here that some of you may find useful and some of you might not. You might look at it and say, hey, I already know all this stuff, skip to the good part. There's going to be a lot of just trapping basics in this, bait and lure selection for certain sets. A lot of these sets on here are flat sets. That's just what's been producing for me lately. I'm going to show you guys how to make some flat sets. We got some remakes in this video. We also have some trap prep as far as waxing and dyeing and things like that go. I'm going to show you guys how I wax and dye my traps a little more in depth than I have in the past. And I'm going to show y'all what works for me. I'm not tooting my own horn, but I do produce pretty high numbers for the area that I live in. I usually catch between 150 and 200 coyotes a year. And we don't have them here like, some places do out west, Kansas and things like that. We just don't have that population here, but I still manage to produce really high numbers every year. There's going to be a lot in this about trap location and location selection, particularly pertaining to intersections, which is where I produce a lot of my catches is in intersections. And I'm going to show you how I set those intersections and why I set them in the locations of the intersections that I do and how I feel that it produces higher numbers setting the way that I set. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope it's not too boring for some of y'all. I hope it's very informative for most of you. Finally got one. All right, guys, welcome back. So just picked this up a coyote off this property. Had a flat set in here on this big gigantic three-way intersection. I know trapping season's getting kicked off right now. Everybody's either getting traps in the ground or getting traps prepped. So we're gonna get a little bit of everything on this video. It'll be coyote trapping for beginners. So stick around. It's gonna have a lot of good content on it. Hope you guys enjoy. Oh, what a beautiful sight first thing in the morning. All right, just made it out to our line this morning. Picked up this real pretty coyote, man, like a good strawberry blonde. Had a flat set in here. We got a three-way intersection. I'm gonna show you guys how I made this set. I'll do the remake here in a second as soon as I get this coyote handled, and show you guys exactly what I caught him in and what I caught him on as far as bait and lure are concerned, and how I made this set with foot guides and everything. All right, so here's our catch location. Got a big fight circle here. It's not dirtied up, it's not messed up too much, a few little sticks and stuff in the way. But this tuft of grass right here was my biggest backing. That was my general backing that I used. Like I say, our main road travels here, and we got an intersection that kind of wise off this way. I've had a lot of question on what I use, under my trap pan. It's just polyfill. I know I've showed you guys this 100 times on other videos. It's polyfill. What I started doing is I'll ball it up super tight, and what that does, all these little stray fuzzies and frillies, it kind of packs them in there and gets rid of the potential for it to stick out from under the pan. And then I just kind of shape it a little bit with my fingers, about like so, about the size of the pan. Slide it right under there. And really all you have to be concerned about is basically the front half of the pan having cover underneath it. Back here, you don't want rocks and stuff under it, but back here is not as big of a deal because this is your major point of leverage right here where the pan's actually falling the furthest. So this is the part that you really want to guard when you're putting your underlining in there. So go ahead and get this thing set back. There you go, she's set. Don't know how well you can see that, but that pan is good and level with the trap. It's not humped up, it's not bent too far down, it's good and perfectly level. Generally speaking, I don't want these coyotes to know that there's anything suspicious going on here. I don't want them to know there's anything suspicious going on a dirt hole set either. However, on a dirt hole, I'm making it look like something's already been there. Now, originally when I made this set, obviously there wasn't a big fight circle, there wasn't a bunch of kicked up dirt and scent all in the ground. But I want it to be as camouflage, natural looking as possible, as though nothing has found this bait yet. On a dirt hole, you're kind of trying to mimic something, you know, a mole tunnel or a mouse den or something like that that's been raided by a coyote or a fox or whatever. But on these flat sets, I like to make it look like nothing's found it yet. Like whoever gets to it first is going to have the pick of the litter on whatever's in this little burrow here. So here we go. We're going to blend the set in good. Got a few little pieces of grass and sticks and stuff left in here. Shake that around. Mark June likes to call it duffing the set. I don't really care for that expression a whole lot, but it's just basically camoing in the set. So then right here under this, like I say, this main tuft of grass where I got my trap pointed, I'm gonna drive my hole back here to where I had it originally. And like with my dirt holes, you know, I got a big 2-3 inch auger. With the dirt holes, I just got this gigantic hole, gaping hole that I'm trying to, you know, kind of gain some curb appeal, some eye candy with. But with these flat sets, I use my stake driver and I just punched a hole, you know, 4 to 5 inches deep. And that's where I'll put my bait up in the front and then 2 lures off to the back. Typically I would put, I'd put some urine on it, but since this coyote's been in the set, he's got it stunk up good enough. So that's just my bait that I make. So this particular set, I had Mark June's Coyote Frenzy on it. This is an excellent coyote lure. I use it a lot, especially on my flat sets. So I got my bait here in the front. I'm gonna put a little bit of this in this hole here to the side. This stuff's liquid, so you can just pour it out. It's just basically ground up coyote glands. And then this is my bait, or my lure that I make called Might Catch. I know you guys have heard me in previous videos talk about it. I don't have any available for sale right now. I got a lot of people ask me about it. And unfortunately, I just can't produce enough of it right now to supply myself and others, but hopefully one day I will. Might Catch, this is about 60% coyote gland, about 30% mice, and then some special ingredients that I will not disclose at this time. Get that in there. Like I say, normally if this was a fresh set that I was just making, I would squirt a little bit of coyote urine on one of these back ends, give it a couple shots towards the road, but I just made this set a few days ago, so all that smell is still fresh in the ground. Got a few rocks here, nothing major. Like, I don't like these big flashy sets that have a lot. It seems like they get too much going on sometimes, and I think it deters coyotes more so than it draws them in. I'm gonna give you guys a quick look at the remake here and we'll get moving. All right, so here's a look at our remake. You can see our traps bedded right in here, right in the center. We probably got about 8 to 9 inches back. And because I've got 3 different holes here, this is my bait, this is a Coyote Frenzy, and this is my lure, the Might Catch. Because I've got all those in there, I don't necessarily offset the trap a whole lot. Not on these 3-hole flat sets, I don't. If it was a 2-hole, if I had one here and one back here, I would offset the trap a little to the right or the left. But because I've got these 3 holes right here, there's a ton of scent on the ground from where this coyote got caught. I just leave it kind of dead center. I picked up 2 rocks to use as a foot guide. I got one here. They're about, I don't know, golf ball size or so. And I mean, to me, I think that's a pretty natural looking set. And like I said, here on this intersection, here's our main road traveling down, and it just wise off right here, going up in the woods this way, and we got it right here on this point where if anything traveling here this way or that way, traveling this way or that way, is going to be as close as he can get to this set, at least be able to smell it when he comes by. And we finally got one right here. Nice big three-way intersection. I love setting these intersections, man, especially these three-ways like this. There again, you can kind of see where the vehicles don't drive. You know, you got the little triangle of grass here in the middle. I always set that triangle. Usually, with one this big, typically I'd probably set 2 here, and it might not be a bad idea. Check this out. Look at all these tracks. None of these were here yesterday. Looks like, you know, a couple of different dogs walking up and down this road here. And we kind of got this one tucked back a little bit off of the main drag, so may punch one in just right over here, kind of catch anything going up and down this main road, and then we'll leave this one in here to catch anything coming off of this tee this way. But anyway, good coyote. We're gonna go ahead and grab up some pictures and get him taken care of. Oh yeah, second one out of this set. Nice MB 450 full pad, flat set right here on this big intersection. All right, here we go. Second coyote out of this set. I think this one's a female. This was a flat set. I think, matter of fact, the last coyote we caught out here on this property, I think, was out of this set. So we're averaging, you know, a coyote every other day out here, which is pretty good. Had a bobcat out here yesterday, and several raccoons. So this place hadn't been trapped in 4 or 5 years, at least not trapped hard, not like I trap it. And getting some good production, getting some good numbers. Anyway, good stuff, man. Another coyote. All right, quick look at this remake here. Like I said, a flat set. Trap is right about there. Got a little bit of bait in this hole, lure. Just using these rocks as a little bit of backing and foot guide. It's paying off. So there it is. Flat set remake. Oh man, coyote. I doubled this setup right here. It's a T intersection. I got a trap in right over here, right there. And then obviously this one right here. There's a dirt hole set, MB 450. Got a good solid pad catch on him there. We're gonna go ahead and get him handled and keep rolling. All right, so we're getting started on some trap cleanup here. Yeah, bucket full back here that we pulled about a week ago off a couple different properties. Just going through right now, throwing them on my trailer here with this expanded metal where we can get a good rinsing on them. A lot of people pressure wash them. I just hit them good with a hose. What I do when I go to boil and wax everything is I give everything a good, you know, once over inspection. Check out all the J hooks, make sure they're closed good at the base plate of the trap and in the middle. Check out the S hooks down here, make sure they're closed. A lot of these are welded, some of them aren't. Give everything a good rinsing. If you got new traps, brand new traps, you're gonna have to go through a degreasing process. That's just some Dawn dish soap and a little bit of water to knock that little film of oil that they come standard with. You just want to get that cleaned off. I got my big ball pot here. This is a live well seat out of an old boat, so I can do about 4 or 5 dozen traps at a time in here. I already got my dye in the water. Got a double burner cooker, and we got it going on here. Get a good rolling boil on that. A lot of people will tell you, you know, you need an hour, 30 minutes or whatever on your traps. I let it go about 15 to 20 minutes with a good hard rolling boil, and that's usually pretty good. That's a pretty good dye, and they'll come out jet black. So anyway, we're gonna start working on that. Catch you guys in a second. Ooh, about time. Nice big male here on this road, man. Always catch a coyote on this stretch of road right here. It's taken me 2 weeks to pick one up in this spot, this to go around, but it's a super big male. I had a like a step down set in here. I had a bunch of turkey tracks walking up and down this road, and I like to use those step down sets when I got heavy turkey sign because it's a super deep, like kind of dirt hole trench style set. And in my opinion, it kind of deters the turkeys from wanting to step in a trap because nobody wants to catch a turkey. but we do want to catch coyotes. Oh, got him. Thank you, Lord. Anyway, got to get rolling, but nice big coyote this morning. All right, so we've had these traps boiling now for a good about 20 minutes or so. You can see they've all turned a good, nice black. We're gonna pull them out here in a minute. We're getting our wax melting right now. Just got it started. Little tip on the wax. All right, if you use a whole pot of wax like I do, a lot of people will just boil water and put wax on the surface and then just dip the trap through it. It's not a bad idea. It does keep the wax from burning, but I like to fully submerge my traps in the wax. So what I do is I just get a super low heat on my burner. You don't want to scorch your wax. It'll get like a nasty burn, charred smell to it, and that'll stick on your traps, and you don't want that. So take it nice and slow on heating up your wax. We got about 15 pounds or so in here that we're cooking down right now. Once we go to waxing, I'll show you that process too. Well, this is the second coyote out of this trap. I know we got another one on the other side of the property. I got a call about that this morning. I'm trying to hustle through and get to him, but nice, another big male. Got a big long straight road. Drops off into a little bottom down here with a power line on it. And we got a little push pile right here, just where they've been dumping some debris and stuff. So good spot, good ditch line that comes out right here, and we just had tracks up and down the road when we made this set. So anyway, coyote number 2 out of this set, and I think this makes number 9 off this property in about 2 or 3 weeks. Good stuff. All right, so we finally got our wax melted over here in this pot. We got a few traps in there right now. I like to set my stuff up where I go straight from the dye pot straight to the wax pot. I feel like it saves a little bit of time because your traps are already hot. They've been in boiling water for a few minutes. You bring them out, stick them straight in the wax, and there's no time to sit there and wait for the wax to actually melt and stick to the trap like it's supposed to. I'll show you what I mean real quick. This is what a good wax trap should look like. All right, so here we got an MB 550. You can see it's got a good clear coat of wax on it. It's not white, not milky looking or anything like that. You can see all the black through the trap. That's what you want your trap to look like. You have to leave the trap in the wax long enough for the metal of the trap to become the same temperature as the wax. Okay, so once your wax is melted, put your trap in. That trap has to completely warm up in that wax. And I'm going to show you real quick what a improperly waxed trap looks like. All right, so here's a Bridger 175 that I got laying around. This hasn't been in a dye pot. Like I say, I like to pull them straight out of that dye, straight into the wax. That way the trap's good and hot. I don't have to sit there and wait on it to warm up. So here's one that hasn't touched the dye, hasn't touched boiling water. It's cold to the touch. It's kind of chilly out today. So I'm gonna show you what a bad wax job looks like. You set this thing in here, just leave it in for a few seconds and pull it straight out. This is what you're gonna end up with. You can already see this wax starting to harden up on this trap. It's milky colored. It's super thick. And it's not stuck to that trap like it needs to be. If that trap doesn't have the opportunity, like I say, to become the same temperature as that wax, you end up with this. You end up with this big, gunky, milky film on there. And I mean, you can see it's just not, it's not good. It's not on there like it's supposed to be. And here's a couple more done the right way. It'll take a while for this to dry, for this wax to dry and actually harden up, but it'll be a nice, slick, clean film of wax on it when it's done. All right, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Big coyote. You got a Bridger 175 4-coil here. I had a bobcat in this set yesterday. Remade the set. Fresh bait, fresh lure, good bobcat scent, and some scat on the ground. Picked up a coyote. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video, man. Like I say, like, subscribe, share. Just thank you guys for supporting the channel. We'll catch y'all on the next one.